Hi everyone, in our last section we looked into what is a string, how to index a string, and how to slice up a string. In this section of ours, we are going to jump into string methods. Python has a bunch of built-in methods that you can just use off with strings. And that is one of the advantages of Python that we have talked into our introductory sections. Now, one thing to note out that all string methods returns a new value. They do not change the original string. Again, a string method is quite similar to a function, but it acts on an object. Let's see a quick example of it. Now, again, a method is like a function, but it runs on an object. Let's a quick example of it is if we have a string where we have s equal to hello, and as you can see that in hello each and every character is in capital letter, and if we pass out the code s dot lower, which is a method, then the output will be HELLO, all in lowercase letter. This is uppercase and this one will be lowercase. So that's how helpful and how quick the Python code can be. So without a further ado, let's just jump into Jupyter Notebook. Now we are back into our old Jupyter Notebook. We are not creating a new notebook file for this. But now before jumping into string methods, let's look into a quick topic that is known as string concatenate. Now, what we meant by string concatenate is if you want to add or join two strings, let's say str1 is, sorry for the typo, str1 is equal to, or let's say first name, I'm going to take f name is equal to, I'm going to write s spall and the last name I'm going to take as l name equal to Sri. So the full name will be spall Sri. Now I have two things, that is f name. If I want to print f name, let's just print it out, f name, and then I'm going to print l name. Okay, so we have the two, first name and last name, and if you want to join them up, it's quite easy in Python. You just have to do f name plus l name, and we have successfully the full name out of here. Okay, over here we have some spaces. If you delete the spaces, that will be also act out just fine. So, and if you want to assign it to a full name, so full name equal to f name plus l name. Let's just print out full name. Okay, so you can see that I have the name Spall. Okay, now that we know about string concatenate, let's look into string methods. Let's name this as string methods. Now, as we have looked into, we have a lot of string methods, and to go through each one of them will be quite difficult, but we will look into most of the important ones. Now let's have a quick look on the notes part. In this notes, we have bunch of string methods. So these are quite the famous ones, that is as lower, upper, strip, along with the definition of it, whatever it does. We are going to have a hands-on experience on all of these. But apart from that, if we looked into, these are that many string functions that are available in Python. So all of these are on you. If you want to play around with this, you are okay to play around, but we are going to look into some of the important ones. So first of all, we are going to create out a new string. Okay, so I'm gonna, again, I like the variable name. In name, I'm just gonna name Elon Musk, and I'm gonna create some new cells below it. Okay. As you can see that in Elon Musk, I have kept E capital and let's say M capital, and let's first print out my name. Successfully it has been just printed out. Now let's convert it to lowercase letter, everything into lowercase letter. Along, I'm going to do name, that is my string dot lower, and with parenthesis open and parenthesis close, and successfully it has been converted. Now if you check name, it is the same thing, E capital and M capital. It is because, as you could remember or recall out from the presentation, that in the note I have told out that they return us a new value. They don't overwrite our old value. What I meant by this is, let's say previously x was Paul, and after conversion it will be x equals to Paul itself. We are not going to change it up, but if you want to overwrite it, it will be name equal to this. If you just run it up, it will and check name, and successfully name has been just defined back to Elon Musk. Every time you check out name, Elon Musk with everything in small case letter. Now let's get back to name again. Let's check. Yeah, now it's again Elon Musk with E capital M capital. Now let's convert it to uppercase. Again, everything is converted to uppercase. Same thing, we have a strip function also. If I pass strip, so what exactly a strip function does is, if there are white spaces that is in the front and the back. Okay, let me run this and check out. So I have white spaces in the front and the end, and if I pass the strip function, it will just delete up whatever white spaces are in the front and in the back. Same thing, you can we can use more and more methods, like we have is alpha, is digit. We can just check out if it is a digit or not. What I meant by this is name dot is digit, pass it out false because it is not having any digits. Same thing, if I pass out some numbers and check is digit, yeah, true, these are numbers. Same thing we have for is space, if there is in space is alpha. Again, we have s starts with, if you want to check out if the string starts or end with any other given string. If you have a sentence and you want a sentence from you want a sentence to start from a particular word, you can just check out from this method. The execution of all of these are quite similar. We have a string and then followed by the method name. Again, if you want to check out if in the sentence, let's say I have a sentence right now, sentence, in that sentence I'm gonna write, hi, my name is Paul and I love coding. Okay, check out sentence. So it is working fine. Let me give some spaces over here. Now if you want to find out a word out of it, so let's find, I'm just going to copy this, or this copy this way, and I'm going to change sentence, find other. So you can see that I am not having the keyword other. Let's check for Paul. Yeah, so Paul, I am having it on line in index number 16. If you want to check sentence 16, so you can see that P starts from 16. Okay, so Paul starts from 16. Same thing if you want to replace something, so sentence dot replace. Just check out the syntax of it. We have old and then new. In old, let's say I want to change Paul to capital Paul, P-A-U-L. Okay, so successfully it has been just completely changed up. Again, we have split. Split is again a very important keyword to remember out. What exactly this does is, it will break out the full sentence in different pieces. So let's split, and you can see that each and every word that we were having in the sentence has been broken out into individual pieces. So hey is a different piece, my is a different piece, name is a different piece, is a different piece, and it has converted it to a string, to a list. We are going to talk about list in our next section, but as of now just remember that we have broken out the sentence into different pieces. So these are some of the important methods that you are going to use a lot, and probably I'm going to use more and more in our next sessions of our, but you can play around with each and everything. Okay, we have more and more methods. All of these are available in the coding notes. You just open out this pynb file, and if you can look, or if you want to play out with this, you are free to play out with it. Now there's one more important function which I would like to show you before ending this session. There's a function named len, which probably you are going to use a lot in your real life coding experience. It will just tell me how many words or how many characters are there in a sentence or in a string. So let's say I have a string named Paul again, and if I pass len inside this, so probably hopefully you have gotten out the output of it. It will be 4, right? So that's everything about string methods. Now before jumping into our next data type, that is list, we are going to look into input statements in Python, that is how to take input from a user. And we are going to look into some of the print formatting statements, okay, how to display out in different ways. Okay, in our next session we are going to start with all of these, and after that we are going to move into our next data type. Thank you very much. We are going to connect again in our next section.